Okay, so the Blizzard stopped an actual Raw from happening. So instead they showed bits and pieces of the Royal Rumble. Because, why does it matter if you have the network? Which actually, ironically, did hit the 1 million subscriber mark finally. So lots of people were pushing for cancel the network after the Royal Rumble, and then the next day it hits a milestone. I'm assuming that probably has more to do with people who are getting the network now, so then they can be, do 1 month to kind of figure out if they like it or not. Then they get to go into a Mania month, and then go on from there. Or they end up being people who want to catch up on all the pay-per-views. Which, either way, as you saw from my video recently, not a huge fan of the ending of the Royal Rumble. Thought the triple threat match was awesome. Great match. Roman Reigns, still not sold on him being the new guy. I think there are other people, but... So Raw ended up doing a series of interviews. Okay? The Rollins interview was very well done. Got himself over, talked about how much of a beating Brock Lesnar took and still kept on getting up. Great promo. Got himself over and got his opponent over at the exact same time. Very well done. Lesnar and Heyman had to sit down. And again, it's Paul Heyman. I've yet to see Heyman do a bad interview, promo, anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure if he wanted to read, Shakespeare while trying to do an operatic voice, he could probably get it done because he's freaking Paul Heyman. And Lesnar has figured out that I sit here and look intimidating. If you've seen the man in person, make a fist. Now add like 2 fingers to it, and that's about the size of his hand. Dude is just, they don't build people like that. They don't. He's just freaking huge, massive individual. The Roman Reigns interview. I don't know if whoever's working on this stuff just doesn't understand his voice. If he needs his moment where he breaks out of his husky Harris and becomes his Bray Wyatt. But he stammered his way through talking about his family. That's not good. Cesaro botched one line. Has not been given a microphone since then. Roman Reigns really hasn't gotten through an entire interview or promo without making a mistake. He had to go on SmackDown where he did a lot of S alliteration and looked at the camera. That was really hard to say. Looked at the camera. Like, that's right. I botched. So, look at me. I drip it factor. And then I talk. Now, at the end, Lesnar had to sit down with Reigns, and Heyman asked if he could conduct the interview. Holy crap, by the time Heyman was done talking, he talked up the entire legacy of Roman Reigns. Yokozuna, his cousins, his dad, everything. I mean, he made Roman Reigns look like the golden goose. Like, he was the absolute pinnacle of everything related to sports. And I was like, man, you know what they need? I think they need to put Paul Heyman back on the announce desk. I think Heyman could do the proper amount of talking to have the IWC. We're not big fans of Roman Reigns because he's been pushed and his promos are very much Cena 2.0 or Samoan Cena. I mean, Heyman just elevated that little speech at Roman Reigns at just a whole other level. Talking about the Usos, talking about, I've been working with this guy before he became Rikishi, or taking photos of your dad. I've known your family longer than you have. It's just gorgeous. And he was like, I respect the accomplishment that you had. And it was just freaking perfect. And then it's time for Lesnar, and he pops up. And even I was like, oh, he gonna kill him. And the first comment on the YouTube I was watching was like, this man, when he popped up, everyone kind of pissed himself. Just a little. You might have lost a little bit of control of your bodily functions. And he was like, I don't respect you. And then Reigns got in his face and he was like, you know what? Either I'm taking that title, or I'm taking a piece of you with me. And then they shook hands, and I was like, now I'm actually interested in that fight. The fact that everything Roman Reigns was up to that point was just, you knew it was coming. You're like, and then you're like, we saw him take a drubbing from 2 individuals and took a total of 5 different finishers and still won the match. Yes, now he's broken ribs. I don't picture a spear taking out Lesnar. If the broken ribs, he's going to have like 2.5 months to heal. Someone threw out, well, Daniel Bryan never could have been a legitimate challenger. Oh, the Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, even Dean Ambrose storyline so easily writes itself. Seth Rollins could still do the. There's no way I could put down Lesnar. There's no way I can beat him and get that title off of him. But I can help you beat Lesnar. And then I can beat you for the title. And he could have that conversation with your Ziggler, with your Bryan, with even your Ambrose. And he'd be like, I help you beat Lesnar. I know I can beat you. And then, that Monday night before Mania, super simple. You've Kane, Big Show, Seth Rollins, whatever the other person is, relentlessly just dominate Lesnar. I'm talking like double choke slams through the table, double choke slam in the ring, double choke slam on the steel steps. Set up another table, giant ladder, Phoenix splash from the ladder through a table, just everything to just destroy the diverticulitis affected midsection of Brock Lesnar. And then when it's time for Lesnar to have his match, have him kind of limp his way down to the ring, have him be heavily taped, have him just take an absolute beating. Even if they jump him that day, they jump him earlier in the night and double chokes him out of the concrete, or beat him in the stomach with abdominal with chairs, just brutalize the daylights out of him. Being similar to Roman Reigns, I'm almost thinking if they have Reigns go a little more heel, potentially work. So after that promo, I was like, you know what? Heyman sold me on this. And the fact that Roman Reigns, that was his best promo. And it was 3 sentences. That's it. Roman Reigns should learn how to do a promo from Brock Lesnar. Lesnar doesn't say a whole lot. He's like, I'm a prize fighter. I show up for the big paycheck, I beat the crap out of you, and I'm going to go home and do my wife. Because that is Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns should pretty much be like, we had the idea of everyone's on a game plan until they get punched in the mouth. Alright, that works. 1 versus all, I didn't think it really caught on at all. Believe that. I think that works. Do I think he needs another finisher? Yeah. Did a 3-man powerbomb because he had a back injury. Okay, makes sense. Superman punch, I like it. Works well. The drop kick, I think he needs to throw it out a little bit less often. Samoan drop, alright, spear, okay. I think he does need one other unique sort of moves. I think if he throws out some sort of crazy, either high-flying move, cool. I think he needs to have another specialty finisher. He needs to have his burning hammer moment. So actually, the little bit they did on Raw was impressive. Network finally hitting 1 million subscribers, awesome. That's a milestone. In about a year? I think about a little over a year. The first main pay-per-view was WrestleMania. So pretty much in, under a year they hit 1 million. That's pretty impressive.